Hello there folks, I'm Dan Brown from Sort of Interesting. I'm here shin deep in the River Dee just so I could film this little clip from the very foot of the mighty Pont Cysylltu Aqueduct that stretches way up into the sky behind us. I hope you enjoy the effort here. What is life all about, my friends? I've been so lucky recently to enjoy so many sunny days both with and without my good lad Gizmo. And while I was out playing beneath the aqueduct, getting ever more delirious, I absolutely love life! Two lads actually came downstream, both on the same type of inflatable kayak that I myself once owned, and actually went across the top of this very aqueduct. They may have been slightly alarmed at some of the stonier sections of water ahead, but they'd already done 5 miles from Llangollen. Hearing that, I of course had to make sure that I soon got myself up to Llangollen, although this time I took the boy and we did not travel in an inflatable kayak. I don't think we would have got too far with his 4-month-old claws and teeth being quite so active as they are at the moment. Is it just me, friends, or do you almost look at some of these scenes here by the river and think it can't possibly be fair that one place can have so many incredible features? Just look at this, for example. You've got the river, then you've got a historic heritage railway line there with the staircase overhanging the river, and then there's the ruins of a castle on top of the hill. Extraordinary. Anyway, let's have one last clip from the aqueduct. So, here's a view of Pont Cysylltu Aqueduct that I bet you don't get that often. And after wading out here, I can understand why. So, it's now been about 2 months since I've been without a canal boat. And that's not what I'd hoped would have happened, and certainly not what I intended to happen. However, it is a reflection of the reality of what I believe are some ludicrous prices being asked for some of the boats out there. And of course, looking to buy a boat heading into the summer, especially with this glorious, ridiculously good weather we've been having, of course it's about the worst possible time if you're hoping to try and pick up a cheap boat that somebody wants to offload quickly. But it's the nature of life, and all these things work themselves out sooner or later. The fact that I've still been able to get out and about so much under this amazing sun and spend so much time in and around the canal as well is definitely something that helps. Speaking of boat life, I feel as if I have got hours upon hours worth of unused footage from the last few weeks and the run-up to selling narrowboat Abel's Ark, including this little glimpse at a very sweet, very tiny abandoned bird's nest. And of course, as always, I've got loads and loads of incredible night footage with the canal being lit up by my super torch. But beyond that, I've just got hundreds upon hundreds of unused clips of things from the great outdoors, such as the amazing waterfall here by Lake Vyrnwy. And annoyingly, as I'm doing this voiceover, I am completely blanking on the name of this place. But it's not the same as Llanrydder Waterfall that you might have seen me post videos about recently. What an absolutely beautiful place. And again, I've got videos of this and unbelievable amounts of footage of all sorts of curiosities that are at the very least as lovely to look at as this. And I feel almost overwhelmed at where to start in bringing it all to show the wider world. But I'm glad that people find something in these videos. Even if the moment that I step off a narrowboat, I seem to get a lot of grief from some people and absolute indifference from a lot more. But again, it's the nature of life and nobody's ever obliged to have to watch anything I do. Look at this, I absolutely love this clip. The way the ice has formed up here on a mountaintop, even with the flow of the wind. I think that adding Gizmo to our lives has definitely helped fill the void that dear old Charlie the dog left with his passing, but definitely also filled up a significant amount of my time to the extent that some of these longer form YouTube style videos that I've been wanting to get around to have been delayed. I wouldn't say indefinitely, just delayed somewhat. But as you can hopefully tell from some of these random clips that I'm putting on screen, I love this one with the swans, there is a significant amount of footage that I have collected from the last, I don't know, 12 months or so, I suppose. Some of the Scotland footage that's never been seen before, some of the Lake Vyrnwy stuff. There's just this huge amount of content and huge amount of random curiosities. Again, I don't think I've ever shown this curious house that you can see it's got more recent brickwork, it's got old stonework, and yet still, with the long life it seems to have had, it's ended itself here in the middle of the woods, completely derelict and crumbling away. I've often thought of creating a YouTube mini-series that just focuses on all of these completely random, obscure, derelict buildings that I find in these most unlikely rural places. But that's for another time. Look at this. Again, I think this might have been the absolute last sunset that I ever saw on board Abel's Ark. Either way, it was a beautiful night, and I'm sure one tainted with a tiny little bit of sadness. Here's something slightly interesting for you, my friends, that will seamlessly lead into a shameless plug for my books. Some of you may have realised recently that I've been posting a lot more of the short style vertical videos, and that's something I've really enjoyed doing, just being able to highlight tiny little moments and pick things out that would have previously been lost in the longer format videos. And something that I hadn't anticipated happening there is that posting these sort of videos on TikTok and Instagram, etc, would lead to me getting, in the month of May, what I believe to be millions more views in a single month than I've ever had ever before on the internet. So that was unexpected. And I'll say something else that was unexpected. How little actual monetization goes on with that stuff, and how little actual reward I've had for the hours that I've spent doing these daily posts. So if you are interested and want to help me out, then please do consider checking out my Short Boat Life books, available for the Kindle, one of them even as an audiobook, or as a larger paperback collection. Shameless plug over. Please have a look at them, my friends. You know, it's almost a little unnerving at the moment. I've been wandering through Timour Park, bookended by one of the most famous canal features in the country, and there's just nobody around. It's 4 PM, I've been here for an hour, and I've yet to see a single person. I almost feel like I shouldn't be here somehow. Whatever else is happening in the world, and wherever you are, I hope that you're happy, healthy, can spend a moment with the sun on your face and a light heart. I hope that what I've become is not too much of a disappointment to long-term viewers. And until the next time, my friends, keep it interesting, keep it boat-worthy, have a fantastic day, and of course, farewell.